The car behind me is more than likely the most talked about production BMW that has been recently introduced. There's this other car, the M4 GTS, but even if you wanted to buy that, you couldn't really. But as I stand by the M2, I think there might be a problem. First, let's talk about a few specs. The BMW M2 features an inline 6-cylinder engine, 3-liter turbocharged, which puts out 370 horsepower and 342 pound-feet of torque. It's available with something like an automatic transmission as well as a 6-speed manual. 0 to 100 time with the manual transmission is going to be 4.5 seconds. With that auto box, 4.3, so I guess there is a reason for it. As I walk around the car, I'm thinking this might not go as well as planned. You see, there's this other car that I was lucky enough to test drive at the launch, and it's called the 1M. It too featured an inline 6-cylinder, turbocharged 3-liter. It put out 335 horsepower, so there's a considerable gap there, and 332 pound-feet of torque, so there, that gap is much smaller. And I think key here is that it weighed about 100 kilos less than the M2. I recently drove the new M3 and a new M4, and I didn't like the car. Sure, they were balls out fast, but there was no interaction between myself and the controls and the drive of the car. And I'm afraid that the M2 is going to be pretty much the same. The 1M was tactile, there was feel, there was an interaction between myself, the steering wheel, and the controls. And I thoroughly enjoyed that car. In fact, it's still in my top 10 all-time favorite cars to drive. So will the new M2 live up to the hype? I'm sure it'll be insanely fast. But will it be as good to drive? All I can say is that I cannot wait to take it for a drive.